Hey, there we go. He's not a robot.
I'm eager to roll to die.
I will roll that real quick, sorry. Not very high. It's still not very high. That's okay. So that is 9. Told you it wasn't very high. Oh, I'm sorry, 10.
Yeah.
17.
Ooh, nice.
For once, digital went nice.
You said we can add our initiative bonus, yes? 18 in that case. Which means we are ahead of us.
23.
Very nice.
Yeah, I got a nat 20 plus my 3.
20.
So only Daksha rolled poorly.
this way we can keep Whistler out of trouble, hopefully.
I am John Cardinal, gunner extraordinaire, owner of the port side, or no, starboard side cannons. Well, I named them. No, I am a wood elf who was formerly a caravan master and is now gunner. And he's on a personal mission to get the monk drunk.
I'm Gabriele, who is the Triton warlock on the ship, and sometimes gets into a little bit of trouble and tends to be the talking person for several of the crewmates, especially Whistler.
Nice. Well, nice to know that. By the way, remember last week and all the screw ups that I kept making, and we were getting all kinds of glitches and errors and fun stuff. This time, everybody was listening to you guys talk, but no me. But that's okay. We'll make up for that as we go. They'll be hearing enough of my voice anyway. So, Gabrielle, let's move on to Tinkle.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Tinkle. I am playing a little fellow. He is the apprentice to the, I guess, apprentice to the boat itself. He likes to do everything, and he likes to get into trouble. Well, he doesn't personally like to get into trouble, but he always gets into trouble. His companions especially get him into a lot of trouble, and he still does not know why.
Well, we'll figure that one out. So, Nachfin.
Nachfin is a turtle sorcerer who doesn't know what his place on the ship is yet. He hasn't been officially given a post as of yet. He just tries to keep Tinkle and Whistler out of trouble that they don't cause.
I take offense to that. I do not.
So do I. I take offense to that. No.
You can take all you want.
Okay, well, speaking of that, Whistler.
Oh, I'm going to be playing Whistler. And Whistler is a Kenku sorcerer who is currently established as a rigger and the lookout of the ship. And he is also known as the cranky ass bird that just hobbles around and is paranoid of going to a certain city.
Yeah, I think that sums up Whistler pretty well. And Daksha.
Daksha is a Luxodon monk raised by a group of monks that believe that all can find the dragon within. I've traveled around and have decided to take up piracy along with it.
Nice. And I am Deacon Blues, the dungeon master for this evening, and head of the table currently. So with that, we are going to kick things off and get into a little bit of our episode. I know we have had a few individuals reach out, and I will just give a shout out to HelloFresh that we've been talking possible sponsorship of the stream. So that is one possible thing. But I'm just giving a shout out either way. So just let them know that I have received the offer and I am kind of going over everything and we'll let you know.
Sponsorships.
For sure. Yeah, sponsorships are cool. Sponsorships that are in the hobby would be cooler, but
Hey.
but a sponsorship's a sponsorship, and HelloFresh is actually a great company. So,
Yep.
great product. Anyway, last week you guys were tasked with going along with Nachfin's mission. Which was to follow the cook from the Magic Staff Inn, knowing as Mateo, who you believed knew more than what he was letting on. And with that in mind, you guys headed out in the direction of the inn to kind of stake things out, to check it out. separating right off the bat made things probably a little bit more difficult for yourselves than really needed to be. Some of you went out back to kind of watch the back door, which is where the door from the kitchen is. Daksha remained out front, kind of off to the side, watching the front door, just in case he came out front. And Tinkle went inside to kind of infiltrate from within and kind of get in good, sort of. Well, I don't know if you can call it get in good with the cook, but he got in with the cook anyway. That sums it up. And then, of course, once I will get to that as well. I just seen that Daksha. I haven't chance to read it just yet, but I will get to that.
That was an accident. Sorry.
That's okay. I just noticed it pop up on my screen, so I have to address that. So, and again, so you guys did follow him off into the woods, where he left the road to Pine Pass. He did leave the road shortly outside of town and met up with a couple of individuals around a campfire, and that's when all hell broke loose between miscommunications and smoke or fog clouds being summoned up and just all kinds of utter chaos.
You can say it, DM. Whistler got caught.
Yeah, Whistler got caught. And Tinkle tried to do the right thing, but unfortunately ended up getting, my miscommunication as well didn't help things the matter either. Because again, not being able to explain myself clearly where everybody was situated in that, which is why we're doing these initiatives a little bit differently, so that I can make sure that I'm conveying. So yeah, I made a mistake last episode as well. But being the DM, oops, things happen, and I'm just going to have to adjust on the fly. So that's what we do. So it ended up with Martio being knocked unconscious. And at first his friends thought he was dead, but he was merely unconscious. And everybody basically left Tinkle high and dry to deal with these folks, but he ended up just leaving. I did
not leave him high and dry. I was right there ready to go.
Yeah. We were there.
He felt he was being left high and dry.
We'll get to that.
So,
Yes.
Either way, things kind of got carried away where there was an attack made on possibly innocent travelers in the wood, which may have later consequences, but we can talk about that moving down the road. But with that, we have all are on either at the ship or on your way back to the ship. So we're going to get to Tinkle momentarily because he's at the ship. The next group, the last person was Whistler following up the rear. So in the middle, we had Gabriele, we had Nachfin, we had John, and we had Daksha headed back to the ship. Anything you guys wish to discuss as you're walking?
Not particularly. I think Nachfin is just kind of going over all of the information that he heard about the individual going to Pine Pass, about the armor, deciding how he's going to handle this whole situation, what he wants to tell the captain, what he doesn't want to tell the captain, things like that.
Okay, so for the most part, you guys are all pretty sullen on your walk back, maybe contemplating what has happened, the activities and the dialogue that was overheard and what was shared amongst everybody else. So you guys are just basically keeping yourself. Are you walking normal pace, or are you?
I would say so. I'm specifically not trying to draw attention because.
So you're just walking normally.
What just happened? Yeah. I would say we're trying to. I would specifically say I'm trying to blend in rather than look like we're rushing away from something.
Okay.
John is just rubbing his head trying to figure out what the hell the bird put in his drinks 2 weeks ago that he's like, I haven't had a clear thought for 2 weeks. What the hell?
A special thing I got from my criminal resource.
You're just a lightweight.
It's just,
I'm
it must
just
have been
glad
really
that-
good rum.
I wonder if he forgot about the getting the monk drunk thing. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to tell. Did he forget?
No, he hasn't forgotten about getting the monk drunk. He's got the rum back at the ship.
Sorry,
He's
I'm
got a,
the-
just
he's
adjusting.
got a keg in his footlocker.
So
with the monk's name on it.
So, Doc or Whistler, you are the last one following along. You can see them ahead in the distance. Are you catching up? Or are you just walking normally back? Or like, what are you?
If I see them up ahead, I'm going to just try to catch up with them. And
Yeah, it's not hard. I mean, they're just casually walking. You just kind of do a quick jog and you do catch up. Are you adding anything to their conversation when you're with them?
I'm just gonna walk up and just to announce my presence. I'm just gonna go.
Oh, the bird.
What
Okay.
the hell was in that rum you gave me?
So we are going to switch over to Tinkle at this point, who is back at the ship.
Okay.
You are at outside the captain's door. What are you doing?
I knock on the door.
Takes a few moments. Enter.
I open the door very slowly. and
You open the door. You see basically the half mannequin type of. I don't even know if you call it a mannequin. It's more of a fitting rack type of um, item that's set off to one side. On the other side is that full standing mirror that's in the captain's quarters. You do see behind some folding doors. There is a bed back there. You also see a big desk and a big chair where she currently is seated behind the desk at this massive like this really nice like winged armchair done with like a red velvet. But looks very comfortable. But she's sitting there and she's writing, and she looks up and looks up and down and sees you. She says, Tinkle, what can I do for you?
may I talk to you for a minute in private? May I come in?
You can. And at that, the door, you kind of glance behind you as you hear the door move, but it's not on its own accord. You do see the sort of a feathered hand of Sankir, the master of arms, closing her door and he's on the outside, so he's not in there with.
Okay.
So he was in the
So-
hallway the entire time when you didn't.
Not a problem. So Tinkle has like a little bit. This is the first time I think she'll actually see Tinkle have a down face. As he almost has like a pouty lip. And he's looking down. And he's like this. And he's walking very slowly to the front of the desk. And then he looks up with the,
Yeah.
I think I screwed up.
Well, let's see, Tinkle. You don't get the chance to sit before the captain very often by yourself. So obviously there's got to be a good reason for it, and hopefully you use this time wisely. What did you screw up with?
And I tell her how it's all my fault that everything happened. I tell her what happened. I tried to help, but nothing seemed to work.
Do you skew it, or do you actually tell her what happened, except you're putting the blame all on yourself?
I tell her exactly what happened,
Okay.
and I take all the blame.
Well,
And now my companions left me high and dry, and I don't think that I should be on the ship anymore because I have disgraced you and the ship.
Well, let's deal with things one at a time, shall we, Tinkle?
Okay.
Let's not forget this was Nachfin's mission.
Yes, but I screwed it up.
Yeah, that may be so, but by the sounds of the story you tell, there was a lot of miscommunication on several parts. Not the way I would have handled uh, a boarding party, shall we say, or a landing party, but that's the way it went down. So I would not say it's all your fault. Mind you, sometimes when you go ahead to act alone to do what you think is right, may not be what's right for everybody else. And I'm sure Whistler's going to have to face the same consequences as well of those realizations. But all in all, I don't think, from the sounds of things, it was really failed mission. You did find some information out. You did find out which direction that missing armor has gone.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just I've never felt like this before, and I don't like it.
You hear a knock at the door behind you.
Okay.
And she just kind of looks up and she says, yes. And the door opens just a crack, and you see the beaked face of Sankir leaning in. And Varric, you wanted to contribute something. Yes, ma'am. The scouts have returned, and it is as he claims it is. So obviously he was listening from outside the door.
It's very
However,
rare that I lie. Which is
however,
true.
they
I
really
don't lie.
I can see why he may have thought they left him high and dry, but they were there the whole time. They had his back should things have gone sideways, but they let him take his own actions to see which direction they led. And Whistler did come down after the fact and try to help, but yeah, you know Whistler. And she just kind of shakes her head with a chuckle. Yeah, I know Whistler all too well. He means well. The group of you, and he looks down at Tinkle, and she's got this, even with the tattoos on her face, and she is a very imposing figure, to say the least. You have seen minor bits of wrath come out in her, and it's scary. The crew tend to tremble. Even Sankir, who is a very scary individual, something about her, she's very warm, she's very friendly, she's very inviting. She's like the mother that you all maybe have, maybe don't care to remember, but she's the mother you have now. And
Well, that's how I treat her.
yeah, and she looks down at you with that warm, expressive smile that says everything's going to be okay. You know what, you guys, you've been on the ship for a few years now, but that's nothing compared to the years ahead of you, and especially when you have a new group of crew that you're melding with. So you'll be fine, Tinkle. And they're coming back to the ship, I believe, shortly. So,
Well,
and
the
she
one
looks
thing
up at
is,
Sankir and he nods. And
the one thing is, ma'am, is I just don't want them to get into trouble. I feel I did the wrong thing. So
she starts to laugh and she goes, Tinkle, I thought I would have taught you enough by now. This is the pirate's life we lead. Trouble is what we're all about. And getting ourselves into it is half the fun. But then the other half is getting ourselves out of it. So it's all going to be okay. And she's just got that wicked but warm smile. She seems to kind of almost be enjoying that concept of, yeah.
okay. So at that point, she sees a big smile come on his face. His demeanor all changes up, and he goes, "I love you. Can I have a hug?"
She kind of looks at Sankir, and Sankir puts his hand down on your shoulder. He goes, it's time to leave the captain be.
I know.
She
Once
just
you
kind
hug
of
me, you
shakes
never
her
want to
head,
let
and
go.
she just kind of goes back to writing down in her logbook. So,
And then I just start talking off. So, did you see what we did? Oh my God, it was amazing. Even though I fucked up, but that's okay. As she said, I'm fine now.
so he
Okay.
leads you back up on deck as you're going over this tale, and Saint Kier is as again, you know this is a very bad dude, but to you guys, he's just part of the crew. And he's just sitting there nodding and everything else. And as you get to the thing, so when you guys get the rest of you get back to the ship and you climb up, you walk up the gangplank and on board, you see coming out from below deck is Tinkle and Sankir, the Master of Arms, has one hand on his shoulder as they're coming up, and Tinkle is telling him all about the heroic deeds of your group. What you guys did, it was all awesome, and then what he did was awesome, and what you guys did was awesome, and it was just all and Sankir has this look on his face. Nachfin, you've seen it before. It's kind of glazed over where it's going in one ear and out the other in most parts, because you know for a fact if he didn't, he'd probably be getting irritated. And that's not a mood that you really want to have someone like him in, for sure.
Yeah, sure.
So you guys now come up on deck, and that is what you see. I leave it to you, and we'll start off with John because we're going to go around. Right, and so it'd be John, Gabriele, Tinkle, Nachfin, Whistler, and Daksha.
Geez, Whistler, what did you do? Slip him some of the rum too? He looks about as glassy as I've been for the last 2 weeks.
All right, Gabriele.
Tinkle, are you causing trouble again?
Tinkle looks over, looks up at
Thank you.
his mate right now, and he goes, "Can't win," and he just walks off.
No, he St. Kier looks at the group of you and he goes, "No, everything's good. Everything's fine. Things went sideways, we know." And he looks over at about 3 other pirates that are kind of in the shadows, but just kind of leaning against the rail at one point, and they all kind of nod. He says, "I know things went a little bit sideways, but we did kind of have you followed a little bit. I mean, you know how things are."
How much did you hear?
Oh, we didn't hear anything. They weren't close enough to hear them. But we know that there's probably going to be some smoothing over with the local authorities, possibly come morning. But we'll deal with that in the morning.
Narkin will kind of step up and say, "Is the captain in? I would like to report the information that we have discovered."
Okay. I will return to her quarters and see if she has some free time.
Merci.
And he excuses himself. Whistler?
Meanwhile, Whistler's going to approach Tinkle, and in order to try to get into his good graces, he's going to blatantly lie. He basically walks up to Tinkle and goes, he could just say, "I am a friend of Tinkle."
Well, that's a blatant lie, is it?
No, the lie is coming. The lie is coming up.
Perception check.
The lie is coming up. He goes, "Come on, sorry, John, give you the bottle, and Daksha will give you the." There's the blatant lie.
Pardon?
You are going to die.
Well, that's off the. See, Whistler's kind of walked off a little bit from the group because Tinkle did walk off, and Whistler kind of.
Oh no, that was out of character.
Yeah. So Whistler's walked off a little bit with him. They're not far away. I mean, you're on the deck of the ship, Daksha. So you're the last one up. And you guys could take rounds freely, and if you've got nothing else, then we'll move forward.
Well, I don't have a bottle, but if you're going to get the monk drunk, I've got a keg of rum down in my footlocker.
I'll do all right, Tinkle, and she'll walk. She'll come over after they've spoken.
I mean, some people call it a social lubricant.
So you've been approached, Tinkle,
By Whistler.
by Whistler and Daksha.
Well, hello, everyone. Well, it's nice to see you. Ignoring what Whistler said. And he goes, time to have a little bit of a song. As he walks over to one of the barrels, sits on top of it, and starts playing. As if nothing has happened.
Okay. You can make a performance check, and Nachfin, as that he's beginning to play some music, and some of the crew that are around just kind of, while they're some of them are doing duties and chores, they're tapping their toes. The ones that are not on active duty right now, some of them are taking swigs of rum. Some of them are actually passed out in one corner or another, and they are just kind of maintaining life aboard the ship. Sankir comes back and taps you on the shoulder, and he says, "The captain will make some time now."
Thank you. Then I'll walk over to the door.
The door is slightly open.
Okay, I'll knock anyways.
Yeah.
Just
inside is there is a lantern hanging on the one side, and there's something magical that is making it glow inside the lantern. And she is sitting behind her desk. The logbook that is normally open in front of her, written, is closed, and she does have the quill back in its place off to the one side. So, knocked in. I've already spoken with Tinkle, and he's basically expressed his guilt in everything going sideways. But I told him that such is the pirate's life, and, we are what we are, and we make the best of it.
I would not blame Tinkle for everything.
I don't.
I believe that it was a combined effort to really mess this one up, It took all of us working together to achieve what the beautiful disaster that we were able to achieve.
I happen to agree there, and I made sure I told him as much, that there was some shared blame to go around.
Oh, yes.
I mean, the followers that we had following you had no trouble pointing out some of those facts, but for a simple follow and see what they're up to mission, it did kind of go south. I will make sure to handle the guard, the village guard, in the morning, and try to smooth things over there. And I'm sure a little bit of gold in that cook's pocket won't hurt him
Yes.
at all.
It was not a total loss, though. We were able to come away with a little bit of information from the cook himself.
Oh, do tell.
He was mentioning, now correct me if I'm wrong about this, but he was mentioning that he either saw the armor or heard somebody talking about the armor going back to Pine Pass. Is that correct?
Yeah. The person that they encountered that said he had armor for sale was headed towards Pine Pass.
Okay, yeah. That's an old.
And he wasn't too much further along the road where you guys came across the campfire. But he wasn't too much further along the road in that direction. So.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll let him know, her know about that. And just safe, for our first mission, it could have gone a lot worse. Everybody put forth their good skills, and I think that we all worked as hard as we could, we may be a little bit disorganized, but I think given the chance, we could do some really great things.
I happen to agree. I mean, not all of our time is spent on the high seas. I mean, a lot of it is. But this was a good test and trial for this particular group because, as you know, when we do have landing parties and boarding parties, I do like to handpick groups to go together to increase the odds of success. So, what would be your next plan of action? Now,
I think that we would like to take, well, I would like to talk to them, of course, but my thought is that we could go to this Pine Pass and scout around, get some information, possibly pose as merchants ourselves or something like this, you know.
well, Pine Pass is about 8 days travel down that road, and then 8 days back. So you can get there and back in time before the ship leaves. So that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, don't take too much time once you get there. But
we will try to keep Whistler and Tinkle out of the bars.
yeah, if that's your plan of attack, I personally give you the okay to take the crew that you have there ashore, and I
would
will.
like to request something as well.
What would that?
Could Tinkle be in charge of this particular mission? I would like to see what he is capable of.
Well, I can tell you right now, Tinkle is quite the interesting little fellow.
Yes, this is a very accurate description of Tinkle.
Yeah, he's not really afraid of anything at
this
all.
Is why I think he would be good in the lead.
This could be good, but this could also be dangerous. So keep that in mind. But
we will keep watch on him for danger.
Yeah, and I'll have Stankier let Tinkle know that he'll be in.
One more thing. I apologize to take up so much of your time, Captain.
No problem.
Appreciate it. I do not have a position in the ship as of yet. I have not been officially given a place. Is there anything that you think would fit me?
Well, it depends. I mean, we could use a more suitable and experienced individual to handle the port side cannons. You would be working opposite John. John works on the starboard side.
I think that I would like this very much. I will give it a shot anyways.
Yeah, I will. When next we're at sea, I will have John show you the ropes.
I appreciate that, Captain. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
No problem at all. Good luck to you and the rest of you.
Thank you. And you're back out of the room.
Okay. Once he's out of the room, Stankier closes the door, and he just kind of goes off on his own, most likely to find Tinkle.
I'll just go around puttering around the ship and
doing your normal stuff. Yeah, not a problem.
Turtles do. Yeah, you know.
And once her door is closed, you do hear it bolt from the inside at this point.
Cool.
With that, 20 just to let you know for a performance.
Awesome. So when you're putting around the ship, there's everybody on the deck right now, even those that are working, unless they're sleeping, are either tapping their toes or whistling along or humming or whatever or clapping. Some of them are even dancing with themselves or dancing with each other even. Tinkle seems to be putting on quite the show. And as you are putting around and everybody else is up on deck doing their thing, you do see Stankier. You guys all notice this. Stankier comes back out just in front of Nachfin, and he goes off and he's standing not far behind Tinkle as Tinkle's performing. And he's just kind of standing there casually, arms slightly crossed, hands folded amongst themselves. And that's how he's standing as the performance is going on.
And John is just dancing around Tony and Zeke, polishing them.
All right, so you're down below. You're down below deck. So everybody's on deck except for John at this point. You guys know where usually to find him. You'll find him down there, probably hugging his cannons.
Pretty much.
Okay. So once your song is finished, Tinkle, once again you feel that hand on your shoulder that you are familiar with. Normally it's Euroslaw around more often, but for some reason right now, Stankier seems to be stepping up his role on deck, which is a little bit unnerving because he is kind of a scarier individual than Euroslaw, that's for sure. And he looks down to you, Tinkle, with the hand, and all he says to you is the same group that you went out with earlier. You're going to go out with again tomorrow in the morning at first light, and you'll be heading up the North Road towards Pine Pass in search of this individual that is said to know the whereabouts of said missing armor.
Oh,
You're in charge.
huh. Me?
You.
Me? No
You.
one listens to me. How am I supposed to be in charge?
And he leans all the way down, and his beak gets right close to your face. And if it was anybody else, you'd probably be shivering. But he just kind of looks, screwing your eye in all straightness, just, the captain says, don't fuck it up.
As I turn around, I go, I won't fuck it up.
He just
With a
kind
big grin
of,
on my face.
he's got a little bit of a smirk as he turns and walks away, minding his business.
And then I start up a happier tune.
Awesome. So the night goes on pretty much like this for the rest of the evening, with Tinkle entertaining other individuals aboard the ship, taking turns, jumping in with their instruments, either with a harmonica or a lute or what have you, and, doing what you guys do aboard the ship. And then when it comes that time, people retire. And unless there's anything else for that evening,
No, not for me.
nope.
Whistler's going to approach Gabriele and whoever Gabriele is with, and he's just going to grab his dice cup and just go shake it around.
I think she'll look up and shut her book and put it on her hip. A game sounds wonderful. So should we ask?
He points over to Tinkle, and then he points over to Daksha and John.
Oh,
John is below decks.
Oh.
That sounds fun. Why don't we also ask Nachfin to join? And then she will mentally ask all of the pointed at individuals, would you like to play a game?
Nachfin takes a second to respond. She says, I will join you momentarily. I will join you momentarily.
Good to know.
No, I haven't come. Just give me a few minutes.
All right.
Whistler's also going to go to say to Gabriele, John as well.
All right. She goes down to where she can see and messages John. Would you like to play a game?
In your head.
In your head, yeah.
The hell was that?
Me.
You look around and you do see standing in the doorway. No, if standing in the doorway to the main cannon area is Gabriele, standing at the bottom of the stairs, looking towards you.
Just wait to Tinkle.
Was that Tony or was that you?
Well, depends. Do you have other voices in your head? And she does say that out loud.
Sometimes Ezekiel talks to me, but Tony's usually quiet.
The tone of voice that even that when it's in your head and in your ears, it rings about the same accent wise, sound wise. You can kind of piece it together now that she's spoken to you right here, that it's most likely her speaking in your head.
I was hoping it was Tony, but okay.
Whistler wants to play a game of dice. Would you like to join?
Who else is playing?
The only other person who has said yes so far is Nachfin. I do need to check with Tinkle and Daksha. If you want to come, I'll meet you upstairs. And she just walks back up.
If Daksha wants to play, maybe I can bring that ton of rum out.
She looks back. All right, sounds fun.
Okay, I'll bring the ton of rum with me.
All right, see you upstairs. And again, she walks back upstairs over to where Whistler and them usually play the game.
Tinkle's not far away.
And looks over at Tinkle. Well, are they going to join?
John comes up from below decks with a ton of rum under his arm.
Sure, I'll join. Let's have some fun.
And she looks over at Daksha. And in the message, in her head, some of the guys want to play again. Would you like to join us? And John wants to get you drunk.
This I knew. Apparently, this is how you talk to Priscilla. And what kind of game?
I'll let Whistler tell you. It's a fun game.
And what about the will of not getting drunk?
We're not on duty, are we? Just don't get too drunk.
I don't know. They're not on duty, are they? Tinkle?
No, we're not on. Well, no one's asked me. I can't hear that in the head. So.
Oh, you're speaking strictly on her. Okay, you're still doing it that way.
Is to her. Because we're not on duty right now, and she knows it.
I think Daksha will turn and walk towards the group so that she can be verbal after that. But she's just kind of looking at them like, I don't know about this.
And she'll verbally say, "Oh, looks like most of us are here. Let's play. Whistler."
Yeah, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. Let's throw some dice.
So as Whistler's got his dice cup and that shaking in hand, and the group all kind of gathers around Nachfin just off in behind a little bit. You were going to do something first, Nachfin?
Yeah, I was going to say he's kind of sitting with on the railing, legs hanging over, dangling there a bit, and he's got his hand out in front of him and casts minor illusion, and he makes a picture of his parents, tiny little pictures of his parents in his hand, and they're doing a dance around, maybe a memory of a wedding dance or something like that. And he's just staring out into the sea, just with this little
image
picture of his parents. Yeah, and then he closes his hand and joins the rest of the group.
Okay, so a few moments of retrospective for Nachfin, remembering his family. Not far off, but yet still so far away. So you join the rest of the group as you see what is commonly known to pirate crews as liar's dice begin to take shape with this group that's sitting around the deck currently. And with that, we are going to take an intermission at this point for about 5-10 minutes. And, bear with us, guys. We won't be gone too long. We're just going to take any bio breaks we happen to need. And me to have a coughing fit in between my my vape puffs.
Yeah.
So I'm not deafening everybody out there in Chatland as I cough my face off. So we will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, guys, and see you soon. Okay. So rather than play Liar's Dice live on stream right now, I think it's a good idea that we eventually do, but I think we need to kind of work out some of the kinks so that it goes as smoothly for chat as possible. Playing, when you're playing another side game on top of a game and so on, it can take away from that. However, we can. Who knows the rules best of all? Okay. Okay. Yeah, in a way. It's a game of bluffing. Yeah. No. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the hiatus there, but hey, nature calls sometimes. So before intermission, the group had gathered all around Whistler with his cup of dice, and what they transpires next over the next several hours is a semi-raucous, entertaining, jovial atmosphere of a bunch of comrades in arms, sitting down, sharing drink and rum, sharing, of course, laughter and stories and jokes, but also the game of liar's dice, which is basically like bluffing in cards. But we'll cover it in another episode. But for right now, let's just say they are having fun and money is changing hands. Not a whole lot of money after all. They don't have a whole lot of money moving forward, but they are all enjoying themselves and, of course, having some fun with that. Now, there was a conversation that Daksha was going to have at the beginning of this encounter. What are you asking, and who are you asking it of?
Basically the group. I hear there is going to be drinks. Are we allowed? I do not want to get in trouble with the captain.
Do we know that Tinkle's in charge?
Tinkle, you're muted. Well, you've made the request, and you did see St. Cyr speaking with him.
I haven't. Well, that's true, actually.
You don't know for certain. But you see Tinkle waving his hand.
I don't know for certain then. Okay.
Just to let everyone know, and I'm here, and I stand up even while we're playing dice. The captain has asked me personally to lead the next mission. So right now we're not on, so we're safe to drink, but we should be respectful that we need to leave early in the morning.
This is true.
Well, if Tinkle's leading the way, I think we should all get crunked.
Well, at least I don't lose my purse.
You have a purse?
He has a purse.
Okay. I mean, whatever.
I mean, I'll keep a better eye on it this time, but I think we all need to be crunked to follow you. He's going to lead us right down the maw of a dragon. I know it.
Technically, he has talked his way out of many things from what I have seen. He gets into things, but he gets back out of them.
I hear that dragons have a lot of treasure,
I'm just saying it's probably going to be easier to follow him down the gullet of a dragon trunk.
This is not a good, this is a fair point. He's not wrong.
A few drinks won't hurt, right?
A few.
Yeah. I just think it might make it easier to follow him. That's all.
Okay. So so it seems like it is an agreement that the party has come to the terms that, yeah, you know what? We're going early in the morning, but I guess it's okay that we have a few. So everything should be okay.
Yes.
Now, with that, I need you, Daksha, to make me a wisdom saving throw. Now, I will let you know and remind you, I did ask whether there would be people helping, encouraging you to get drunk, and there was more than one person that had volunteered.
I'm sure it was unanimous.
Yeah, so that does affect the DC that you are aiming for. I will let you know.
I'm innocent. I didn't say anything.
That's true. That's
right. Wisdom saving throw.
I am going to use my actual physical dice because the other one.
It was unanimous.
Never mind, because apparently that one doesn't like me either. That's a 7.
Okay. So as the evening is progressing, everybody seems to be having, pretty moderate amounts of drink. However, some more observant individuals, specifically those that would be involved in the shenanigans afoot, would notice that a few extra drinks have managed to wind their way in front of Daksha. In comparison to everybody else's. Where they've come from, it's hard to say. Now, mind you, that is how the evening is turning out. So again, drinks are exchanged, money is exchanged, dice are exchanged. There's a lot of lying going on. There's some telling the truth. Well,
was trying to slip a few.
and in most cases, Tinkle's very bad at this game in general because Tinkle doesn't usually lie, and people have learned that about him. So it kind of defeats the whole point of Liar's Dice. But at the same time, where there might be 5 copper in the pot, by the time the round gets around to Tinkle, there might only be 4 left or 3 left. And on a few occasions, there was no pot left to be found. Nobody can say for certain that it was Tinkle, but they're pretty sure that it's him when it comes to Liar's Night. So that's how the evening is progressing. Now, at the end of said evening, you have had, let us say, a little bit more than double what everybody else has, Daksha. You can make me a Constitution save.
All right, we're gonna try and digital this time and see if I do better. Constitution save, you said?
Yes, please.
The dice ate me. That's an 8.
That's an 8. Okay. So let the evening winds down and you guys eventually all retire to your areas of the ship where you find most comfortable and most secure. Come the next morning,
that's the lookout.
The morning arrives, and of course, there is one of the swabs aboard the deck is always usually informed by the cabin boy that the day is about to start, and that individual now goes around the deck making sure everybody is awake and ready to go. This is all fine and good as you all make your way up to the deck. Daksha, you awaken to the voice of one of the crewmen ringing in your ears. And it has this horrible, horrible sound that echoes all the way to the pit of your stomach.
I went to the hospital by ambulance.
Everything okay? I just heard someone say they're being taken to the hospital in an ambulance.
Someone here in the home.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Just wanted to make sure that you're. That's not cool, but I'm glad everything's fine. So with that, you're really having a hard time. The boat's got its natural, and you're not a native to water by any means. You've kind of been getting a little bit used to it, but right now is not one of those times. You're told that breakfast will be served on deck this morning. As you pass by the kitchen, the smell mixes with the salty sea air and the motion, and you can't get to the deck fast enough to hit that rail.
Oh, dear.
As you guys are all up on deck, hear the thundering footprints of our Loxodon friend coming up the stairs in a rather hurry. You guys can all make me a dexterity saving throw to get out of her way as she's heading for the railing.
Well, just to remind you, I am small folk, so I can easily just...
Yeah, you just step out of the way. You kind of like go between her feet as she goes by. I got you.
I do a little
I got
dance.
an 18.
Hey, 18, you're fine. You managed to get way out of the way.
Got an 18.
You're out of the way.
I rolled a dirty 20.
Nice. Nachfin, how you doing?
11.
An 11? You know what? You only needed a 10. Because again, we're talking about a Loxodon who's running up the stairs of the ship. So yes, you do make it to the railing in time, and you guys do see a heaving Loxodon. Yes.
I sunk back into my shell to avoid all his legs just right back in. Just drops
You get the spinning shell on the deck. Yeah, you do.
Mission accomplished.
You do relieve the contents of last night's drinking and pretty much anything else you ate during that particular day.
Yes.
It seems to last. You guys are kind of witnessing this, and some of you know why. Most of you know why. The rest of the crew is just kind of like looking at her as if, well, you know what? She's a newbie. She's still green. You
He
know,
has not got her sea legs yet.
no, she'll get them. She'll get them. You know, maybe it just takes a little longer with such big legs to make them. You know, to make them sea legs might take a little extra time. It is one of those things.
I love that.
So seeing this, I think Gabrielle's gonna look over. Does last night not agree with you, Daksha?
I do not remember drinking that much to have that problem. But
You'll get used to it.
definitely have the problem.
The smell of bacon grease wafts up from below deck as breakfast starts to come up, and it is it's not bacon, but it is pork, like cube pork, done up inside of a porridge with a little bit of like honey in that. It's quite nourishing, but the fact that you're getting meat and good meat at that, as far as you're concerned, it's not fish. So it's a bit of a treat. But the smell, as you're having this conversation with Gabrielle, even though you feel okay until that wafts hit the end of your trunk, maybe there's more of a sensitivity to the smell, of course, where you're not feeling so hot. Tinkle, this is the group that, as breakfast is being served for everyone, those that are up anyway, and your group was specifically woken up at this time as well, to kind of get everybody together, to get you fed, and get you on your go. So this is the scene that you come upon when you come up.
Oh dear.
So I look around. I'm seeing this. I look over at the others that are not with Daksha, and I go, see, this is why I said we shouldn't be doing this. And then I walk over to Daksha, and I pull out a little wineskin, and I say, you need to drink this to help settle your stomach.
Out of character, would she know that that would actually work or not? Because I don't know anything about drinking at all in real life, so I have no idea if that's true or not.
Hair of the dog.
Yeah, definitely hair of the dog.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no, honestly.
Okay.
It all matters on the individual sometimes, but at least it gets the taste out of your mouth.
Okay. Yeah, so
And John will pipe up with his hangover remedy of a nice greasy pork sandwich served in a dirty ash tray.
And then
There you go.
Tinkle turns around and he looks staringly like this at Rob. And you have to remember, whenever I do any intimidations, I have disadvantage to let everyone know. So I turn around and sternly as possible, even though I'm trying to keep my smirk down, and said, this is all your fault. Do you want me to tell the captain? Ah, man, it's a waste of time. And then I turn around and I rub her back. It's okay. We'll be okay. Just drink a little bit more. Oh, pass me one of those pork sandwiches.
Whistler's just going to mimic.
They're really kind of hypothetical pork sandwiches. All I got is pork oatmeal.
Yeah.
Pork meal.
Doesn't matter.
Pork meal.
Yeah, it's like a maple and honey glazed pork that's been mixed in with an oatmeal. So it is tasty, but it's definitely probably not the most appetizing thing to even look at when you're not feeling well. So with that in mind, that is how breakfast appears.
It probably resembles a pre-digested pork sandwich.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah, so this is the course of breakfast aboard the deck of the Tainted Heart. The morning that the group has been tasked, under the care of Tinkle, to head northeast-ish out of the town of Sorath towards Pine Pass, and eventually to find Pine Pass, and hopefully to find the individual that knows the whereabouts or even has the sentimental armor of Nachfin's friend. So, with that, you guys leave the ship and you begin your journey back out the way you came the night before. We get to the spot of the road where you can see the little path that kind of leads off. There is no fire at a distance anymore. There is what you can see at a distance now in the daylight of the remnants of campsite. You didn't see or hear anything being spoken, but mind you, it's pretty early still by the time you guys head up the road. It is shortly after dawn, so I mean the sun is just now peeking up and lighting up, the road itself as you move down and move forward. So with that, we turn it over to you on the road. Anything you guys want to do as you go? Is there a specific order that you want to be on the road? Tinkle, I'll let you, because you are been chosen as the leader. You get to actually start.
Okay. So I turn around at the group and I say, I think the best situation for all this is Nachfin. Since you and the others found out where we're supposed to go, why don't you guys continue on the path and I'll stay off to the side and maybe stay hidden just in case something else comes and tries to ambush you guys.
That sounds
And
very
I
smart
can
to me.
move pretty fast even though I'm stealthing.
So-
I like this.
So it'll be Tinkle off to the side, and then the rest of you
What
on
was
the
that,
road.
Whistle? As I was going, Whistle was.
Sorry.
Yeah, was that an okay of agreement, or was that
That's his typical confirmation zone.
okay?
Okay.
So you whistle in confirmation. So the rest of you are staying on the road, but in what order are you heading up the road? What would be your normal marching order?
I will walk alongside Daksha
So you're going to be beside Daksha. So who's in the front?
just to keep needling her a bit about the food. It's like, that breakfast was amazing, but I'm just glad we didn't see any grub worms or anything in there with the meat.
All right. So who's in front?
I think Gabrielle will move up to walk next to Knock. Or move back, depending on how.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I would be back, but if you want to be in the front, that's cool too.
So Gabrielle up front?
I would probably be back. I'm not.
Yeah.
Nachfin is much better at long range.
So
Yeah.
Nachfin at the back.
Oh, Gabrielle's going to move to wherever he was. She can walk
Yeah.
next to him and talk. 'Cause she's
Yeah, I can
also
be
there.
somewhat more forward because of
Yeah.
being a monk.
Okay, so Daksha's up front.
She's got the intimidation factor as well.
Mhm.
Who's behind Daksha? Or beside
John is
actually.
right beside
John is
Daksha.
beside.
Yeah.
Okay, so John
Yeah,
is
so I think
beside.
we're going 2 and 2.
Yeah, so there's John up front. Tinkle, you're off to the side. That would mean Whistler is pretty much in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of by himself, but he is paired with Tinkle off to the one side, and then at the back you got Nachfin and Gabriele. So that'll be your normal marching order as you go. Everybody, roll me a d20, please.
Oh, dear.
Can anybody roll between 15 and 20?
Oh, definitely 19.
Okay, we had a 19. Anybody else?
What were the
Oh
numbers again?
no!
Between 15 and
You
19.
saw that, didn't you?
I saw
I got a
that.
1.
Yes.
16.
I
16.
got a 13.
No.
So
I
just
rolled a 12.
16 and a 19.
And a
Oh, no.
3.
And I'm not using my halfling luck to help
Okay.
with that. I want the 1.
So
By the way,
as
dear,
you guys are headed northeast, headed up the road, you guys know the rough, there are, copse of trees here and there as you're heading up the roads. Most of it's grassland. There is quite a bit of farmland, and you get about around maybe 20 miles the first day out away from town, and it seems to go uneventful. You set up camp along the side of the road as you normally would, and you set up your watches as you normally would. And then, of course, during those watches is when you're not certain of when would actually, hang on, it was Nachfin roll the 19 and Gabriele 16. So you guys would be the last group anyway to do it. So you guys are on your watches, respectful watches, and you're kind of, it's a little bit eerie. You're so used to the water. You're especially even Nachfin. It's different. Like Gabrielle's been on board a ship, but you've been near the ocean, near the waves. You're not hearing that sound that you're so used to, and Gabrielle as well. And you're hearing the silence of the night air of meadows, and it seems a little eerie at first. But you guys can both make me a perception.
Ironically, the two aquatic members.
10.
10? Gabrielle?
You're muted if you try and talk.
20.
Oh, nice. Okay. With a 20, you definitely hear the sounds of movement, other noises off just north of the road that you're on. Now, because you did hear it, you can make, and you are an aquatic based individual, so you can make me a nature check at disadvantage, please.
Okay. Hang on. Okay, nature. Oh, I'm good at nature. Okay, not too bad. 17.
17. You recognize it as the sounds of a local mammal that would probably be grazing in a nearby field. Nothing of a real, troubling nature to worry yourself about, but it is definitely something to be noted of that you are in an area, whereas maybe that isn't a predator. There might be predators that are looking for prey. So, because prey always attract predator, right? So that's just the way it ends up being. So you do note that, and I mean that's all you really tell. You share that information.
Yes. Are we on watch alone or?
Yeah, it's you and Nachfin at this point. I'm just putting you guys in the same pairs you already been.
Okay. She will let him know. What she hears.
I don't think that this is a reason for waking anybody up, but but it's good to know. We keep a closer watch now.
Best to be on guard, just in case.
Always, yes.
Okay, so the rest of the night passes uneventful, and you guys continue up the road. You at this point, as you're progressing, the road's starting to turn a little bit more northwards rather than northeast, and there is those few copse of trees that would be here and there are kind of giving way to more of a forested area off to the right hand side of the road as you're going. And again, you're starting to kind of move a little bit northward, and you're seeing the trees start to thicken in certain areas as you're moving in that direction. So on the next day up, you are. Yep, that would be it. So I need everybody to roll me a d20.
Get all the bad rolls
And
out.
this time I'm looking for the numbers between 10 and 15, please. Anybody roll between 10 and 15? The two.
I wrote above that. I wrote an at 20.
Okay, now between 10 and 15.
Yeah, I figured as much.
10.
I got a 12.
Okay, so
11.
11.
No, I'm outside that range. I got an 8.
11 was Daksha. And what did you say you were, Gabrielle? 12?
No.
Daksha and Gabrielle this time around. Okay, so you guys are making your way along. Daksha, you're up in the front, and you see something, and you don't even make a perception with your passive. You definitely see there is an indent in the field off to the left hand side, opposite a copse of trees, and you see this at about maybe 120 feet.
I think she'll quietly kind of point with her trunk towards it.
Okay, so John's right beside you.
Mm-hmm.
So John, she points over to that area, and you kind of see what looks like an indent in the grasses that are over there.
I wonder what made that.
I would agree.
Hey, boss, you okay out there in the woods?
You're not supposed to let people know I'm out here.
Yeah, at this point, Whistler's now just flapping his arms at John. Like,
Here we
Okay,
go.
keep in mind and keep it. So I'm assuming you guys, as you're having this conversation, you're still walking.
I think
You're at
we're
120
alone
feet.
out here.
Are we all there?
Well, they're in the front. So
Okay,
John
alright,
and that's because you're on a road, so it's 2x2, right? So we've got Daksha and John side by side as they're going, and Daksha has pointed something out to John. You guys see her point and gesture in a direction. You're not sure exactly because you're not right beside her, but point something out to John, and then they're having a bit of a conversation as they're continuing to walk. So I'll let that be known. You guys are continuing to walk. Now, Tinkle, what side of the road were you? You were on the left-hand side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just so I know as well.
So I wouldn't see anything. Sorry.
No.
The other thing was on the right. No.
That's where the trees, those copse of trees are now become kind of a light forest off on the right-hand side. And this spot that you're seeing is opposite on the road. It's on the left-hand side of the road.
It's on.
Oh,
Okay, so it's Tinkle side.
It's on Tinkle's side. It's up ahead of where Tinkle probably is, but Tinkle would probably be walking right towards it.
I think I would kind of mention to Gabriele that we should catch up and find out what's going on at least, because it seems like something is.
So it's like, hey, boss, are you all right over there?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
You're not supposed to point him out.
So Gabriele and Nachfin have moved up. They've passed you, Whistler.
Who am I
Are you
pointing him out to though?
Hang on, we have a Gabriele.
So Gabriele, you're catching up to the front with Nachfin. Whistler, what are you doing?
Whistler's just basically keep an eye out in case he needs to try to cast a spell to make sure everything, in order to.
So you're just at the ready. Is that correct?
And Gabrielle will reach out and message Daksha. What's going on?
I was about to speak with you. Can you tell Tinkle that there is some sort of indent in the grass over in his pathway? I do not want him to randomly walk into something.
Tinkle is not visible currently.
We just knew that he was off on the left side, so.
Can I do a perception to see if I can see him, or is he completely hidden?
Well, it's up to you, Tinkle. Are you making the skill to stay stealthy?
Yes, that was the whole point of me also being stealth.
Yep. Just want to make sure. So you can make me a stealth check, please.
That would be a 14.
Okay, Gabriele, you have to make an opposed perception, please.
Okay.
While they're doing this, Nachfin will message Whistler in his head and say, "So help me God, if you drop that fog cloud, I will drop you off the edge of a cliff from which you will never, ever return. Only if it is absolutely necessary." Okay, my friend?
You get this all of a sudden Nachfin's voice for the first time has echoed inside your brain. You've kind of gotten used to Gabriele, but this now it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
hey, wow.
Whistler just looks at Gabriele, looks at him, looks at Gabriele, looks at him, and just goes.
I'm sure Tinkle just gives a thumbs up. 17.
17. You spot Tinkle.
So I will give the message to Tinkle. And Tinkle, you hear her voice in your head. There is an intention. Alligator, it's on a second.
If he's right beside you, that's probably about 90 feet in front of him.
Okay.
So have I heard her in my head before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean you guys have been traveling on the ship for years together, so it's kind of common for her to.
Okay.
Be
So I
kind of
say,
stealthy. So yeah.
is it a big indent?
Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah. You're.
Yes.
I mean, Doctor, you've seen it. It's probably, and you've seen this type of area before. It's almost like some kind of beast had been over there, or several beasts over there, either grazing or sleeping or lounging or feeding, or who knows. Like, but it's a fairly big area.
Okay.
So can I see the area now that it's been kind of
Well, you're still you're kind of off to the side of the road, so you're actually. What is your full height?
3 foot.
The top of your head is about the top of some of the grasses. So
Okay.
yeah, you're kind of almost like you're in a cornfield, except you're just in tall grass.
Do I see a tree anywhere?
There's some off in the distance. Most of them are on the other side of the road. You're on the grassier side at this point.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll actually come back to the party.
Okay.
And then I'll come up from behind the party. And who's the last two? Who's the middle two?
In the back, Nachfin and Gabriele are in the back. Whistler's in the middle. And Daksha and John are in the front.
Okay. So I walk up to Nachfin and I go, Nachfin?
Yes.
Can I jump up on your shell and take a look?
I suppose so. I'm not all that tall. If you
Just
really
as he's
wanted
saying that, I start scrambling up him.
If you really wanted a good look, you would probably be better to climb on Daksha's shoulders. He's like 4 feet taller than me.
Definitely the tallest one here.
That's true. Daksha would be the tallest one there.
She's like 7 feet. I'm like 5.
Whistler's just sitting there nodding.
So that's all right. I like climbing up my friends. So that's a 25.
Yeah, he jumps up on you like it's nothing. Like, and he's just sitting on your shell. And you do realize at this point, from this vantage point, that you'd probably be a couple feet taller if you were on Daksha, but you're up here, you're looking around, but you can definitely see the imprint in the grass over there. You would have walked right into it if you had kept going straight. So,
can I use my knowledge nature to see if I might be able to, because I'm actually proficient in it, to see if I would know of any types of beasts that might actually, like, if it's a type of cat in the area or a wolf, or
can I aid him with that?
Yes, you can.
Proficiency in survival as well.
Yep, if you're going to help him with using survival and
yeah.
So you get you give me an advantage to the roll.
Well, I rolled a nat 20, so 24.
Nice,
first one.
nice.
Very nice.
You are 100% positive. It looks like some kind of a kill zone, where you're still walking. So you're about 60 feet now. But keep in mind, it is inside tall grass area. Looks like there's a mound of something in the center. But it is very similar to what you've seen or know of great cats. To when they take down a prey, they are known to feast in areas like that and share amongst themselves.
Okay. So as I'm sitting up here, I say, well, it looks like a bunch of big pussycats are around here attacking and eating stuff. Maybe we can get one and have one as a pet.
That would be very interesting. But wouldn't we need to make sure it does not eat us?
Well, come on. I made a friend with a dragon. How hard is a cat?
I don't think that the captain would like to have a large cat on board the ship.
Not to mention, do you have the language of a cat?
Meow.
Can I keep
Yeah.
on the lookout in the grass for anything that might be listening to us while
Okay.
we're
Make
talking?
me a perception check. You guys are now at 30 feet.
Oh God, 9.
You don't hear anything.
Nah.
It's only about midday too. I mean, it's still early.
I think we should just walk by it. Just keep your eyes open. I'm up
You
here,
are the
so I
leader.
can see.
Can Daksha kind of use her sense of smell as they're getting closer to make sure it's not there?
Yeah, and you're just continuing to walk though down the road.
Yeah, because we have to go by.
Okay.
But basically, I'm just if I get a whiff of the actual animal, then
Yep,
I'll,
because you are doing that,
Signal.
you can make an advantage perception check as you now reach the 0 mark, so it's directly to your left-hand side as you're walking.
Mhm. All right, let's see if I do better this time. 18.
Nice.
Yeah, you definitely smell as you're moving. It's kind of hard to notice on the road because you're on a dirt and stone road, and this very dark, rich soil of the region is all through here. But you pick up traces of an irony smell that you're quite familiar with. There's
Mhm.
blood not to your left, but right at your feet.
I think she'd pause and look there and kind of like pull her arms out to kind of stop the rest of the party to kind of,
Look
pay
down and
attention to this.
Sure.
Yeah.
anybody have? Well, no one's a ranger, so there's nobody's got. Actually, anybody can make me a survival check.
Yeah, I've got proficiency in it.
Yeah.
And you're, yeah, you might have it.
If I would roll good.
How does a dirty 20 sound?
That works.
Nice. I have a +6 in
Oh
this
dear God, I got a
I have
4.
advantage.
23?
23,
I
20,
got a 20.
20,
14.
14. Okay. Well, with the 20s, you needed 15 or above anyway. With the 20s and above, you guys, the three of you, are kind of tracing as she points out the fact there's blood here, and you're all three of you are focused on the ground around you, and you all see that there is definite drag marks of something large that was dragged across the road. Like, I mean, large sized, not medium sized. But was dragged across the road. There was a large amount of blood left behind, but also whatever it is that they were dragging was almost acting as a duster for the road of any footprints that were left behind or paw prints. However, you do make out a couple of prints on the ground. They are not the prints of a great cat for exact science. There's Tinkle from where you're from, maybe. So we will get a roll from there for John. Not so much for you, and Daksha for sure. Actually, Daksha, you didn't make the roll. Who else?
Well, I wasn't. Yeah, because I was
Gabriele.
just doing the survival, and I didn't use the set.
Gabriele, you don't know.
So
So the only one that will get a fair roll will be Tinkle. You can make me a nature check.
I rolled a dirty 20 as well.
Yeah, and actually, you can make me. Yeah, maybe.
That's something I just didn't.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of where you guys are all from. So,
Oh, right, of course.
15.
15. You've seen these prints before in the jungles of the Jade Forest. These are ape prints, large ape.
Oh, even better. There's an ape here. Let's go check out the ape. I want to check
With
out
the
the
15, though, you know
Wow.
enough about apes that are from there. You do know that it's not normal for them to leave the cover of the forest, or the area that they're in, to actually travel out into the open for a kill. It's not quite normal for them. They usually keep to the trees, and but that's what you realize.
This is awesome.
Also,
There's an ape. There's an ape. Let's go check out the ape. I want to see an ape.
Also,
Boss,
why
aren't
would
we
an
on a
ape be dragging
mission?
Something bloody, because
Exactly.
apes. I don't think apes are omnivorous, are they?
Exactly. I'm the boss.
No,
We
apes
need
are
to
known to
divert.
be, well, they are known to be carnivorous,
Oh, okay.
but they are omnivorous overall. Like they do eat
Yeah.
a lot of.
I really want to go see the ape. Maybe we
Tinkle
can make
is
him
the
a friend.
leader.
Okay, but would the captain want us to go see the ape, or would the captain want us to go on our mission?
I think both.
We don't
I
have
cannot
enough
even
time.
believe that I am saying
I
this.
am not
but,
going to argue with
um,
our leader since the captain chose him.
Yes, I cannot believe I'm going to say this, but this might be something that the captain might actually want to know about. I don't think that it is a bad idea to at least look at it.
Yeah. And it might, if we could bring it back, we could train it to climb and do the work. That's an awesome idea. As I jump down.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's go see it first. Yes.
Also, a question. Now that we know that it's an ape, you were mentioning something about possibly Daksha would know things about that. Would she know any more information that would be useful?
About apes, you would definitely be one of the ones to say, yeah, that's not normal for them to leave the woods at all for food. Either there's no food where they're going, or where they're from, or they're being forced out somehow.
Okay, then I would definitely relay that exact same information to the rest of the party. That it's definitely an odd behavior. It might be a good idea to find out why it is not finding the food where it needs it.
Yes, I don't think that we can leave this mystery unsolved.
Whistler's just gonna shrug and just go.
I think we just need another friend. Let's see if we can go make another friend.
You are the
If
leader.
we can make a friend, that is
Off we
nice.
go!
So you guys leave the road at around midday, and you start off into the forest. Following, once you start getting into the heavier wood, it's clear, and it's more than one. You can see the prints. There's more than one ape. There's probably about at least two, maybe three, that are making their way, and they did drag whatever it is all the way back with them. There are spots where there's big pools of blood that is more noticeable, sitting atop some leaves. There are chunks of what look like flesh of some kind just sitting there, and they've still taken the carcass back with them, wherever it is
Can
they're
we
heading.
identify anything from the flesh that's been left behind?
You do stop. I'm assuming you guys do take the time to stop every time you find something to see if you can figure it out. It is really not enough of it being left behind. It's almost like something fell out of a morsel fell out of his mouth as it's eating and left it behind. So you guys are following it for the rest of the day, and the day passes. You guys set up watches. You do your camping, and the night goes uneventful.
Do we have any idea what we're going to do with these guys once we find them?
No, but I think it would be fun to find out.
My goal is mainly to find out what the problem is. Obviously, Tinkle leading us wants to make a friend.
Whistler, you wanted to add something?
Just making a confirmation. Did we all take a long rest during that whole, that night?
Yeah, everybody got their full rest. There was nothing really happened other than the fact they've seen an animal grazing. So you guys are at this point, you're more than 50 miles away from Soraf, or about 50 miles away from the village at this point towards Pine Pass. You've probably got another couple of days to get to Pine Pass, maybe 2.5, because now that you're off the main road, it's kind of hard to tell. But you guys do set up your watches, you do your camps, everything passes the night, no problem. Very uneventful. There's a bit of a morning dew in the air. When you get up the next morning, it's kind of settled about midway down the trees that you do see, and you guys continue to follow the tracks of whatever these apes were leading to. Yes, Whistler.
I'm going to make sure to cast Weather Eye just in case some kind of weather decides to get involved.
Yeah, just so that'll let you know any changes in the weather that are coming up within how many hours?
24.
Okay. Yeah, there's probably going to be some rain in the next day or two, but nothing significant. There's rain coming. There's moisture in the air. Not a huge storm.
He's just going to poke the nearest person nearby him, and he just goes.
Yeah, pretty much. You can tell people that it's going to rain. So.
Nachfin stares at him for a couple of minutes, trying to figure out what he's trying to say. Things are going to fall from the sky.
So Tinkle goes over to
Cats are going to
Daksha
fall from the sky.
as we start walking after everyone starts going, and he goes, so, what's so special about the apes? Are they big?
Is anybody else getting Chicken Little vibes?
Yes, the sky is going to fall upon us.
As we're walking,
yep.
She's actually looking around to see if there are any more of these like apes hiding or making sure they're not walking into a trap.
When you're walking through the forest, because now that you guys are going, it's probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. You've been walking along and tracking and searching and observing. Now that you're actually paying attention, and there's a conversation, Tinkle's asking about the apes and all these curious questions going around, and then you actually take a look up and around at the woods that you are now walking deeper and deeper into. Whereas the woods themselves at first were sparse, and then they started to get more and more dense as you moved closer and closer inland. Now, there has been one thing of actual note that you do notice all of a sudden as you look up. The trees around you currently, there's no place for an ape to hide. The trees themselves are naked and twisted. Their branches begin to reach down like bony claws. It's almost like there's a curse in the air that you can see. And you can make me a perception check.
Question.
Yep.
If it is a nat 20, do I have my perception?
Perception. Yeah, nat 20 is nat 20. You're good. So you roll a nat 20, and as you're really taking this all in, that all of us, like without even noticing it, as you guys are walking forward, the trees have changed in this area that you're walking into, and it's still along the path that these apes seem to have dragged it. There's no place that they could possibly hide, and as you look forward towards where they may have been taking it, you make out the bottom parts of a stream off to the right-hand side, just off in the distance. And the stream, as you follow it up and a little bit deeper into the woods, you see what most definitely is some kind of overgrown and an abandoned structure in the distance. And with that, we are going to wrap up. So you have arrived at this abandoned spot. This is the scene that will be before you come next Tuesday when we return with another episode of Southern Expanse. Down the road they went, and this is where they end up. So who knows what is to follow? I'm sure they've all had a peek at the Owlbear Rodeo corner that they can see, and trust me, it's not much. I'll actually show the chat right now. This is all they see.
Literally,
that's it.
Just that much. Yeah,
we found an L.
And that's once they go, once they get down to that point. That is what they're going to see. So again, thank you all for joining us and tuning in to another episode of Southern Expanse. Again, DeaconsTable is very proud to produce another wonderful series of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. As you know, we do other things as well, but we'll talk about that momentarily. But we're going to go around the table and we're going to meet the players a little bit behind the character. So we are going to once again start off with John.
I'm Rob, also known as John, also known as Honey Badger, and you can find me on Discord. as I think it's Honey Badger Rob.
Yeah, that's you.
And you can find me as D. Robert Beaudry on Facebook.
He gets around. He's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we move on to Gabriele.
I'm Lorelai. I've been playing Gabriele, and you can find me on Facebook as Lorelai Redford, and in the Discord I am Grey Wolf, and I have a Twitch that is Dag and Gray's Adventures.
Excellent. And Tinkle.
My name is Patrick, and I'm playing Tinkle, the small pirate. And I'm just out having a blast and hanging out with my friends.
Excellent. And Nachfin.
I'm Garrett. I've been playing Nachfin, Turtle Sorcerer. You can find me on Twitter at I am Theatricus, on Instagram at that D&D guy.
Excellent. Excellent. And Whistler.
Hey, I'm Jack. I was playing our Kenku Sorcerer Whistler. And you can catch me on the Discord at usually RuneScar DM. You can also catch me on my Twitter at BlackLanternAce. Come and have fun with me in the Discord. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we could always use more people in the Discord. I did put the Discord link up in the chat, so be sure to check that out. Daksha.
And I am Naomi Beers. I go by Dag_Crystal for most places, or a variation of that. I love D&D with everyone, and also playing any games I get my hands on when I'm not busy.
Excellent. And I'm Chris, aka Deacon Blues, head of DeaconsTable, and that's where you can find me on Discord as Deacon Blues, or on all the socials except for Twitter. You can find us at DeaconsTable, but we are now on Tribal Social, but also on Mastodon as well. So again, it's at DeaconsTable, and you can find us all on there. And join us on the Discord, because even non-paying members still can come on and do some role play with us in the channel and see what it's all about. And if it's something you like, well, we would appreciate the support and the help in allowing us to keep doing this. And using platforms like Zoom that we can pay for, and not use the free platforms out there that are not always as reliable as much as we love them. So guys, come and take part and be part of what we're trying to build here, and that's one community of gamers for gamers. So again, we will see you all next week for Southern Expanse. You can tune in and watch this Thursday night on our Twitch as we do New Beginnings, which is our Minecraft streaming series, where this week, all my regulars are invited to join in, as we're going to do a little bit of chaos, a little bit of finishing up some builds as we try to wrap up season 2 of New Beginnings of Minecraft, and we start working towards a season 3. So that's something to keep in mind. So that is Thursday night at 8 p.m. Join us there. And guys, I know we all like to have fun, so be excellent to one another. And if you're going to be out there playing games, above all else, make sure you are playing safe. Take care.
See you.
Yeah.
New it. Everything's switched. Oops. Yay! Making sure it all moved over. That was starting to get the hang of the software a little bit better. It's still a little funky. I forget to unmute myself or to mute myself when I'm supposed to be. It's a bit awkward. Doing no intro and there's no intro. Yeah, everybody knows Whistler's full of crap. So yeah, it'll be the sitting initiative it's a lot easier for me to do the rotations for introductions, but just keep it in mind when I turn it over to all of you to play, try to keep that order in mind. So when I do turn it over to the group of you, obviously if it's all of you, and if, for example, if it was tonight, John, you would have to start off going, well, I'm not doing anything, and then we go down the list. You know, and the same thing. But if there was only 3 of you involved in the conversation, and the first one in our initiative order was Nachfin, you would go first and say what you're doing. Because for me, and the one comment that we had is for me as a DM to constantly be going, so what are you doing next? So what are you doing next? So what are you doing? Right? Makes it more of a natural flow to it, which I know other series have that, but they've been playing together a lot longer. So again, that's why I put the primer out there on Discord. So it gave us something to kind of work on. Yeah, makes it easier. And we did, we got up to 8 on Twitch and 2 on YouTube. That's, yeah, so go figure. I think we still got some in there, so I am going to do a raid on Twitch right now. Huh? Oh, no, all right. No, not on ours. We didn't get that high. Three, 4, 5 viewers. Hey, ciao. We only get. See if that works. Marcus is doing Outbreak. Okay. So yeah, next week we will probably be on Discord. Because this it's costing just over like $22 a month for Zoom. And Patrick covered the last 2 months. So I wasn't going to ask him to cover that again. And it's not really, because I know right now financially, I know a lot of us, there's no way that we could come up with that extra 20. So what I'm thinking on doing at this point is going in and putting Nitro on the Discord server, so that we can, one, it'll help our server, because we'll be able to do a boost or whatever, but it also gives us more bandwidth, allows us to do streaming in high definition, so it'll be a little bit better for our video streams. And it's only $10 a month. Well, and then Canadian version probably about 13. But either way, a lot cheaper than 22, more affordable. And if you guys know, we have the Ko-Fi page. If you want to, and if you're able to help out for a couple of bucks a month, like $2.50 a month, just do the pledge on there for $2.50 a month for the Ko-Fi page. And then, yeah. No, I get that. As I said, trust me, I know. Yeah, no, I get that. As I said, I get it because, I mean, we're all in the same boat. You know, I'm on disability, so I don't have any extra income at all. You know? Yeah, so we'll see what happens when we do the Discord thing. And I think what it will also do will allow me to, when I'm on the Discord and we're doing that, I'm not bouncing between the Zoom window and the Discord window and this one. I'll have it helps me cut back on the number of windows I have to have open, which my PC will thank me for because I've been running in the yellow temperature, which is not where I want to be running right now. When I'm running so many different things. Yeah, that'll be better. And I will continue to update the channel as I go. And I will, by the time you are next level, I'm trying to get all the second level spells entered in, and it's takes forever to enter them in D&D Beyond. That's yeah. Well, if you have spells that you're eyeing for second level already, let me know in Discord in the message, and that way I'll enter them first in D&D Beyond so that they're there and ready, so that they're going here. Yeah, like adding it on Discord is nothing. I mean, that's easy because you're just writing it out. But then once you go to enter it, then you have to figure out, well, wait a second, I'm going to enter this first. And they don't have creation tactics for everything you want to create. You got to kind of. All right, Gabriel or Lorelai. Yeah, I gotta take garbage out too. So, yep. Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, I gotta do my garbage in a minute. Yeah. Yeah, that's my turn soon. Well, I've been doing it here, but not the same. I've been mild. I do it mild when I'm online. Yeah. If I actually go out and smoke one, yeah, I'll be sleeping in like 5 minutes. But no, I don't. I don't have any smoke stuff right. Excuse me. All right. Well, we'll see you next week. Exactly. All right. Have fun. Alrighty. I'm just making sure everything's stopping.